He showed us why the rich keep getting richer and why most people stay stuck, no matter how hard they work. But here is the question nobody asked. If the formula is so simple, why is not everyone doing it? If buy assets, avoid liabilities is the answer, why are educated, hardworking, intelligent people still broke at 60? That is what Chapter 7 is about. Robert says there are 5 specific obstacles that stop financially intelligent people from building real wealth. Not laziness, not stupidity, not bad luck. 5 precise, invisible obstacles that kill financial freedom before it even starts. And the dangerous thing is this: you will recognize yourself in at least one of them. Let us go through them one by one. Obstacle 1. Fear. Robert is not talking about general fear. He is talking about one very specific fear: the fear of losing money. He says this plainly. Everyone who has ever built wealth has lost money at some point. Every single one. No exceptions. The rich do not avoid loss. They learn to fail better. He uses an example that hits hard. He talks about people who choose low-yield bank savings accounts over real investments, not because the bank account is better, but because it feels safer. You are not earning. You are hiding. And this connects directly to how many of us were raised. In Tanzania, in Kenya, in Ghana, in Nigeria. In families all across Africa, the financial lesson passed down was, do not risk what you have. Hold it tight. Protect it. Do not lose it. And that lesson is not wrong for survival. It kept families stable. But it is the wrong program for building wealth. Robert says the goal is not to avoid losing. The goal is to become someone who can handle losing and keep going anyway. He talks about winning Texans, a concept he loves. In Texas, he says, losing is not shameful. The attitude is, if you are going to lose, lose big. Fail forward. Come back louder. That energy, that relationship with risk is what separates someone who builds an asset column from someone who protects an empty one. Practical translation for us. Start small. Put a small amount of money somewhere that is not a bank. Learn what it feels like to have money working. Get comfortable with the movement of money up and down. Train the emotion before the stakes are high. Obstacle 2. Cynicism. Robert calls this one the most dangerous obstacle of all. Not the loudest. The most dangerous. Because cynicism is fear dressed in intelligence. A cynical person does not say, I am scared to invest in property. They say the market is too unpredictable right now. Or most small businesses fail. Or those opportunities are only for people with connections. All of those things might even be true, but they are being used as reasons to never move. Robert has a phrase for this. He calls it, what if it does not work? He says the noise in our heads that asks this question constantly is what drowns out everything else. And the antidote is a different question. What if it does work? He tells a story in this chapter about people who missed property deals in Phoenix, Arizona, not because the deals were bad, but because their inner critic was louder than the opportunity in front of them. For us, think about the conversations you have heard. Someone explains a business idea, and immediately 10 people in the room explain why it will not work. No research, no experience, pure reflex. The chicken littles, Robert calls them. Always predicting the sky is falling. Always right about risks. Never right about outcomes because they never try. Your defense against cynicism is not blind optimism. It is information. When the doubt gets loud, go learn more. The more you know, the quieter the inner critic becomes. Obstacle 3. Laziness. Now, Robert flips this one completely. He says the most common form of laziness is not sitting around doing nothing. It is staying busy. Read that again. The most common form of laziness is staying busy. He talks about people he knows, doctors, lawyers, high earners who work 12-hour days, run their homes, attend every meeting, reply to every message, and have zero investment activity. They are exhausted. They are absolutely not lazy by any normal definition. But they use busyness as an excuse to never deal with their money, never sit down and look at their finances, never build the asset column. Their busyness is a kind of laziness about the future. And he has a specific fix for this. He says use a little greed. He does not mean greed in the ugly sense. He means desire, ambition. Allow yourself to want things. Ask yourself honestly, what would my life look like if I did not have to work? What would I do? Where would I go? Let that vision pull you forward. Use it as fuel to do the uncomfortable financial work that busy people keep postponing. For us, you might be studying, working, sending money home, managing responsibilities that people your age and other places do not carry. Your busyness is real, but 1 hour a week, that is what financial education costs at the start. 1 hour of reading, researching, learning. Guard that hour the way you guard your sleep. Obstacle 4. Bad habits. Robert is honest here. He says habits run our financial lives more than intentions ever will. His most powerful example in this chapter is about paying yourself first. He watched his rich dad do something that shocked him as a young man. Rich dad paid himself first. Before bills, before rent, before any expense. A portion of every income went to the asset column first. Poor dad paid everyone else first. And then, if there was anything left, he saved. There was rarely anything left. This is not just a budgeting tip. Robert frames it as a psychological decision. When you pay everyone else first, you are teaching your nervous system that everyone else matters more than your future. When you pay yourself first, even if the amount is small, you are building a habit that compounds. He also talks about the pressure this creates. When you commit money to assets before expenses, you have to solve the expense problem. You have to be creative. You have to figure it out. That pressure, that productive discomfort builds financial muscle. Comfort does not build anything. For us, start wherever you are. Even 5,000 shillings a month set aside first. The amount is not the point. The sequence is the point. The habit is the point. Obstacle 5. Arrogance. This one is subtle, and Robert is careful with it. He says arrogance in finance is using what you know to hide what you do not know. He met many highly educated people in his life, people with impressive degrees, professional titles, years of experience, who spoke about money with total confidence and lost money consistently because they refused to ask for help in the areas where they were ignorant. Their identity was wrapped up in being smart. Admitting a knowledge gap felt like admitting failure. Robert is direct. He says, every time I have been arrogant, I have lost money. Every single time. No exceptions. The fix is simple, but it costs ego. When you do not know something, say so. And then go learn it. Find someone who does know. Ask the question. Read the book. Pay the person. Your ignorance only costs you money if you protect it. So, 5 obstacles. Fear, cynicism, laziness disguised as busyness, bad habits, and arrogance. Robert is not saying these are character flaws. He is saying these are patterns. And patterns can be broken. The financially intelligent person is not someone who never feels fear. They feel it, and they move anyway. They hear the cynical voice and they go, learn more anyway. They are busy and they protect 1 hour a week anyway. They pay themselves first even when the month is tight. And when they do not know something, they admit it. And go find out. That is the practice. Every week, every month, every year. Now, here is what Chapter 8 is about, and I need you to stay for this. Kiyosaki spent years watching people understand everything we just discussed, the obstacles, the assets, the habits, and still not move. He asked himself why. And in Chapter 8, he gives you the answer. He calls it Getting Started. And it is not a motivational chapter. It is a technical one. He breaks down exactly step by step what he did to start building his asset column from zero. Real actions, real decisions, with real money. This is the chapter where everything we have learned stops being theory and becomes a plan you can actually use. Chapter 8 drops next. Do not miss it.